Dan. Thanks so much for joining me after a very long day.
Thank you for having me.
Good, good. You seem to be in, high energy still.
I am. This is just, after 2.5 days and then another day to go, yes, we're flying high.
Good stuff. Well, this was the 4th North American event that you guys have held.
Yes.
So tell me how it went. How'd it go?
Really, for our business and for the market that we serve, it was a wonderful success. Mm-hmm. We grew our attendee base over the last 3 years on an annual basis over 40%.
Wow.
Roughly 500 or 475
Yeah,
attendees.
I definitely noticed that there were many more attendees and a lot of first-timers, which I found quite interesting as well.
Yeah, it's all word of mouth.
Okay.
So we do some advertising, and thank you, with the WHIR and some other small print, candidly, pubs, but really, this is all word of mouth.
Really?
80% of these attendees are our clients on the research side, and the balance are firms that are out there and they're talking with each other and they're networking and they hear about us, and we have a very well trusted and respected brand in the data center value chain market. So we're excited that we're really we're growing in the direction that the market wants us to.
Fantastic. Well, just talking about the demographic of your attendees as well, we noticed a lot more people from the financial sector,
yes.
More than usual. So, what was the case with that?
Well, transactions are going up, and not only are transactions going up, the M&A valuations are moving north. So there are companies like CyrusOne out of Houston getting fused with many, I think approximately $60 million, and then Managed Data Holdings doing roll-up strategies backed by roughly $100 million with many private equity properties at their backing. So what's happening in this market is while there is a downturn, and unfortunately with WAMU and the Fed bailing out AIG, this market is actually really picking up steam. And it's largely in part that utilization is very high, capacity is very low, and the demand-supply curve really is out of whack. So what we're here to do, and the financial firms are here, is to try to help infuse this market with the appropriate amount of capital to create some sort of equilibrium on the supply-demand curve.
What were some of the key points that you really wanted to drive home to your audience? Like, what are some of the key messages that you really hope people took away from this event?
Right. Well, in years past, we've always talked about how to be successful. Right? What does it mean to be a successful co-location provider, managed hosting provider? What have people done to get to that point? And in this year's event, we really focus and put a lot of energy on what's next.
Right.
So now we've reached success. The majority of firms that are not profitable or were not profitable are no longer in the game.
Okay.
And we're excited by that. All of our businesses are, because we don't want those players in the market, because we don't ever want to go back to the perception that there was in 2002 and 2003. So really what we focused on was what's next, how to be successful next.
Right.
How to use virtualization, cloud computing.
Yeah.
What is low latency in terms of what's in the mind of Savvis or others when it comes to financial services firms? How to optimize partnerships across globe through a Tata Communications in emerging markets to a Verizon globally or other firms and other players. So our real agenda here is we want to position and help position these companies to accelerate their business, but accelerate it so it's sustainable and successful.
Good. Now, on the flip side, then, what did Tier 1 take away from this event?
Well, we heard a lot from not only the data center providers, and the managed hosting providers, but we heard a lot that the dedicated hosting business is still going well. Okay. And it's not. Our metrics show that it's not a segment that's growing at the rate that co-location and managed hosting are growing. Right. But that market is still going well for several firms, like the Planet and SoftLayer. There are some interesting things that we took away, but you're hearing the balance of technologies and how firms are monetizing things like VMware, Parallels, and Hypervisor by Microsoft. So what we're seeing is some really kind of unique deployments of technology that really haven't seen in the past. Most of these technologies have been homegrown. So it's an exciting thing for those providers that they're actually creating tools that the multi-tenant providers can use and make money.
Yay!
Because we want these people to be successful for a long time.
Good stuff. What's the next event? What can we expect to see?
Well, you know, as we grow as a firm, and our agenda is pretty clear in that we want to stay dedicated to the hosting value chain,
right?
Servicing the software providers to those that are building and designing and constructing the mission critical facilities, to the data center providers themselves, and even to the end users.
Right.
So what our agenda is in the coming years, we're going to expanding our coverage into the EU and UK and Asia Pac.
Okay.
So our Hosting Transformation Summit, UK, our second annual,
right,
will be in the spring of 2009.
Okay.
In the fall of 2009, this is the fall season, I believe.
Yes.
We will have our 5th annual.
Okay.
And that will be a very interesting event, simply because we're going to be, we feel like we're at capacity. 500 people roughly is an event.
Number,
any number over that, we feel we might be going into an exhibition.
Right.
And what we want to have is a really nice balance between content heavy and contact heavy.
Right.
So people get to network as well as derive the value from information.
Right.
So and then that event is on for next year.
Good.
And then the last event, or third event we're going to be doing, is a hosting series event, and it's going to focus on wholesale data centers.
Okay.
So the wholesale market is really active, and the retail market, while it is growing, you know, firms like Quality Technology Services out of Atlanta and others, they're finding growth in the retail side, selling 50, 60, 80,000 square feet in one shot.
Wow. Good stuff.
Yeah, so our events really are a vehicle for us to get our name out. But what's most fun is our name is getting out through candidly through publications like yours,
right,
through mainstream media, and also word of mouth.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time to speak to us, even though it was the end of the day. I
Thank
appreciate it.
Thank you. It was a wonderful event. We're really excited about it. Really excited about the way the market is going.
Fantastic.
So thank you.
Good. Thanks.
We just might. Oh!
Sorry.
The WHIR is champion.